Follow on Instagram and Twitter at __ Beyond the Game and subscribe on YouTube at Beyond the Game with Ro and the Joe Bros.
Welcome in to another episode of Beyond the Game with Ro and the Joe Bros.
Not this again.
Wait, we're doing this? Oh.
Oh, man.
Yep, let's go. Chug it.
You're
Double-
gonna need that, Joe.
Double header. 2 for 1.
Yeah.
Is it an all-nighter? We'll see. But
What we got going today?
it's always something. But you know what, guys? It's playoff time. It's CFP time. It's almost here. We've waited all year for it to see what the committee would do, to see if they would do right by the little guy, the group of 5, by Cincy.
Yep.
Well, guys, they did it. They finally did it. They finally broke the glass ceiling. So we will see what happens there. But these matchups we have for the CFP, it's going to be Alabama versus Cincy, and we'll have Michigan versus Georgia.
Yeah.
Those are two intriguing matchups on their own merit. But I want to start out by asking you guys, in general, do you think the ordering is right? Do you think the teams are right? How do you feel about that? I'll start out with you, Joby.
I think they did, given the circumstances. I understand not wanting a rematch between Alabama and Georgia in the semifinal, but that could be the national championship eventually. Spoiler alert for my picks. But I think they did.
You said could be.
I did say could be, but no, seriously, like I think they did. We'll get into this later, but like Alabama really took care of Georgia and Michigan undefeated. I think they did get it right. Now having Cincy in, I think was the right move. I think, like you said, Rolly, the first group of 5 program to make the college football playoff. Yeah, I think they did, given the circumstances. All said and done.
Joanne, what do you think? How do you feel this shook out? Do you agree with it?
I think it shook out perfectly. I believe the right teams are in. Who else can you really put in? At number 5, you got Notre Dame, but Cincinnati beat Notre Dame.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's good to have Cincinnati in there to at least give them a shot. You know what I mean? Like years ago with the whole UCF thing, they didn't even get close. What was the highest they got ranked? Like they didn't really come close.
Maybe like 8.
Okay, yeah, 8, 7, 9, give or take. No, it's irrelevant. Whatever, 7 to 9, 7 to 9 range. I'm just saying it's good that you actually you give a team like Cincinnati a chance. You know what I mean? Just give them a chance. If they fall on their face in the first round of the CFP, then so be it. Maybe they didn't belong, but at least give them a shot. And as far as Georgia still being in there, yeah, they lost to Alabama. Alabama's a dynasty. We know that by now. So a one-loss Georgia team in the best conference in the nation, they should still be in the college football playoff. It's not like they got blown off the map. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, and Michigan, they finally exercised their demons and they beat Ohio State this year. And like I said, so you're really going to put in there? Because like I said about Notre Dame, everybody else in the top 10, if I recall correctly, has 2 losses. So you can't put anybody else in, theoretically. So yeah, I believe they got it right.
Yeah, I think so too. My big takeaway is, like I told you off air, Joe B, is that if Cincinnati gets throttled, you can't use that as a case that this was a mistake and the group of 5 is not worthy. Like, everybody gets throttled by Alabama. That's not anything. Like, Notre Dame gets throttled by Alabama. Anybody that gets into that number 4 spot usually gets throttled by Alabama. Like, you can't.
Wait a minute. Hold on. I have to interject here, Rolly. So you already have a built-in excuse for Cincinnati. That's what you're saying to me.
No, I have not an excuse. I have an explanation. You can't just say that the group of 5 is like, oh, you got in, guys. Like, oh, you got destroyed. It doesn't matter. Like, see what happened. Like, we don't know what would have happened to UCF that year. We don't know what would have happened. Like, every year, this is a different team.
You just said I don't have an excuse. I have an explanation. You have an excuse, but you're just calling it an explanation. But I do agree with you, though, man. I do. I mean, it's nothing to be ashamed of if you get throttled by Alabama.
No.
I mean, it's not like you're getting killed by like a
if you deserve to be there, at least keep it close.
Yeah.
I don't care who you're playing.
I'm with you. I'm
Come
just
on.
saying,
They should keep it close. I'm saying no. I'm not saying it wouldn't be embarrassing, but it doesn't mean they shouldn't represent the whole group of 5. I was like, see, this is why it was a bad experiment.
Unfortunately, they are an example because they're there. Unfortunately,
yeah, they're going to be.
I don't even know if they're the best group of 5 team, like, since this format has been started. So, like, why are we putting the onus on them? okay, guys, it's Cincy or bust. What would UCF have done? What would Houston have done a few years ago? So Cincinnati is the bar here?
In
I
my
think this is how
opinion,
it shook out.
Cincinnati is the best.
Really?
Is the best out of those three.
Okay.
that
Their
you mentioned,
defense, their defense is quite good.
in my opinion.
We'll see. Maybe they will actually. I don't know if I would say they're going to win this game, but maybe they will keep it respectable. I hope so, because it seems like there's going to be a slant that this was like, see, you guys got what you wanted, and Bama destroyed you.
I see what you're saying. You're worried that it's going to be like, okay, we did it.
Yeah.
Now no more group of 5. I think if there's another team that comes along that's undefeated and has a couple good wins, Cincinnati has a couple good ones over Notre Dame and Houston. I think if another team comes along, they're not going to be like, oh, Cincy was. They look at them. I feel it'll be a case by case basis, also based on who's below them in the rank, how the rankings are. I think it's all
The margin
dependent
of
on
error
them.
is so slim, though, for a team like that.
No, I agree.
You literally got to.
100%.
And remember, these schedules are coming out years in advance. So they got fortunate
Right.
they had Notre Dame this year, because what if they had like some random team like Vanderbilt? Like, they wouldn't even be in this playoff right now.
They would. Yeah,
It's
I don't
like
think they would.
It's like UCF a few years ago. They had
Yeah.
like nobody on their schedule, and they ran the table.
Yeah.
It'll be
So-
interesting. But yeah, so let's move on, though. I guess we touched on it. Is there a team in there do you think is overrated, perhaps underrated? How do you see it in that way? Joe M.
As far as like a team that's overrated in the top 4, I don't really see a team that's overrated. Like I said, Cincy deserves a shot. They ran the table. They got that big win over Notre Dame, and like you said, against Houston. If I had to choose, I guess it would be them, because as far as like strength of schedule, they have the weakest. If you put them up against Alabama, Georgia, and Michigan, I guess it would be them. But really, I don't see anybody that's overrated. And underrated, I would have said Bama, but they knocked off Georgia. I feel like Bama's been under the radar all year. Like, a lot of people knock them. I feel like they're still there. And spoiler alert, I believe they're going to show their prowess.
Okay.
Let's
Gotcha.
just say.
Okay.
But yeah, as far as like underrated, yeah, like I said before the SEC championship game, I would have said Alabama, but right now I would say Cincy. So
What about you, Joe B?
I kind of had a cop-out answer. I really don't think there's any overrated.
yeah,
And I disagree with Joe M here. I actually think, if anything, Cincinnati might be a little under. They were number 7 in total defense, and they were second in turnovers. They had 18 interceptions and 11 forced fumbles. Again,
yeah,
or 11 fumble recoveries. Again, like, part of it's their schedule, right? So, like, they're not playing like juggernauts. So those numbers are going to be a little inflated. But at the end of the day, you play your schedule. If you dominate your schedule, or if you dominate it like they did in terms of defensively, they also have a good dual threat QB. I don't know. I just think there might be people are just acting. We talked about this earlier, but people are acting like, oh, they should just be happy to be there, and then that's it. I think that's why I think they are underrated, because it's like, oh, okay, they made it. Okay, cool. Now they can lose. But I think, again, I just think because of that, people are underrating them, because they're just like, okay.
yeah. At the end, I was kind of rambling a bit. At the end, I was talking about before I would have said Alabama was underrated, but like now,
Yeah.
I would say Cincy. Like I said, I agree with you. I believe Cincy is very
Right.
underrated. So
Yeah.
What do you
Yeah,
think?
yeah.
Yeah, I don't really see anybody underrated per se, but I
Okay.
do think that Georgia is overrated. I think Georgia's
Ooh.
overrated.
I was close to saying that, but I don't want to judge them off one game. I really don't.
No, I'm gonna judge
Like,
them.
I
I'm
kinda
gonna
want
judge them
to.
off that one game, because that one game and that one team has owned them for how long? Like,
Yeah.
at a certain point in time, you got to actually win that game. Like,
It ain't
Just yeah, like
It's
like,
not-
yeah, like
Hey,
Michigan
you sound like
finally
me.
beat Ohio State.
you sound like me.
I know.
We having this conversation
Yeah.
about something recently.
Yeah, I
who
think so.
was it? I
It was.
said
It
what?
was.
Was
Yes.
It was Michigan Ohio
Yeah.
State.
I said
That's
if
exactly what we were-
if you're truly elite,
I'm with you.
you have to win the game at
It's-
some point.
Yeah, that's exactly it. That was it.
Yeah.
I had a good
It
feeling.
ain't over
It's
yet.
not. No, it's not. They could very well play each other again in the final,
Yeah.
but I think they're
Mhm.
overrated. They
Got
went
it.
this whole year number 1. Obviously, the defense is not overrated, but I think the offense might be, because when
Okay.
it mattered the most, put the clamps on them. So we'll see if round 2 can be any different. But I think Georgia is overrated. We talked about this already, but who would you put in if you could change things around? I think we agree mostly that these are the right 4 teams, but anybody that would have been a dark horse that you felt got overlooked in some way? Joby.
Again, I'm gonna do a cop out answer. Like we already discussed. I wouldn't replace any team. If anything, I think maybe Baylor. But in that case, you might as well just expand it and put Baylor in there too. Baylor, and I would honestly say Ohio State. And yeah, because I know Notre Dame is 5, but Notre Dame is I'll pass.
He's a Notre Dame hater, folks.
His
I am.
wife is
My
from
wife's-
Notre Dame, though.
Big
She
time.
went there. It's
Big
okay
time.
though. It's fine. It's fine.
Oh,
Jess,
man.
you didn't hear any of this.
No, she will hear this eventually, but yeah, I'll deal with those. I'll deal with the consequences when that comes. I know. She trolls you. She trolls Miami. I troll Notre Dame. It's just how it works. It's fine. It's mutual.
Joe M, anybody you would have put in there instead?
There's nobody. Like I said, the only
Yeah.
one lost team is Notre Dame, and they lost to Cincy. So I can't. There's nobody.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with you guys. I guess we got chalk here. I wouldn't put anybody in. I really wanted Ole Miss, though. I was really hoping Ole Miss could get there.
Me too.
Oh, my gosh. Lane
Kiffin.
Kiffin in the CFP.
Lane train.
Would have been amazing. Congrats on the new extension to Coach Kiffin.
Yeah.
I was hoping
You know, it'd
for,
be dope.
yeah,
Get him on the pod, man.
Coach Kiffin, FAU alum here, and we got Joe M over here, the honorary alum, and we got Joe B, who wishes you were his coach at Miami. No offense to
Yeah.
Mario
Yeah.
Cristobal.
I was gonna say you can't say that now. You got Mario.
I'm happy with Crystal Ball, but yeah, I would have been just as excited, if not maybe more, for Lane. Just because Lane just seems like a Miami guy. He's like Jimmy Johnson, like modern Jimmy Johnson, in my opinion. But I think that he gives me Jimmy Johnson vibes. So I think that's why I would be more excited, actually.
He still got that. He still
But-
got that house in Boca. He
Yeah.
loves it down here. Like I'm telling
I
you,
know.
he was legit interested. Like I believe if they offered it to him, he
Oh, I'm
would have
sure.
taken it.
I'm sure.
He would have taken it. All right, grand finale, guys. Let's do our predictions of how we think this is going to end up. So, who do we have going? Let's start with the final. Who are the representatives? Who's going to be in the CFP final? I'll start with you, Joe M.
Man, the final. I'm gonna say Alabama beats Cincinnati, so you got Alabama in there, and I got Georgia over Michigan. I got a rematch. I got Georgia and Alabama as the final.
Okay. SEC championship game rematch. That would definitely be interesting. Joe B, what you got?
This is not going to surprise anybody. But I have Georgia over Michigan. I just think their run game is their strength, but Georgia's rush defense is fantastic. They're number 3 in rush defense. So I think Georgia's going to win. Actually, up until maybe earlier today, I had Michigan, but look more into it. I do think Georgia's going to win that game, especially with the bad taste in their mouth from their prior outing. I think Alabama is going to beat Cincy. I think it's going to be a little closer, but by a little closer, I mean
Yeah.
I think it'll be like a 14 to 17 point game, not like
Okay.
a full on blowout. So, long story short, I have the same exact matchup that
There you go.
Joe M has.
Yeah, so pretty much I got Alabama beating Cincy, but not by not crazy amount. A nice, respectable margin that they can go home to and not hang their head behind their tails. And then I have Georgia beating Michigan, of
There it
course.
is.
So we all got the same thing. We're all gonna get
What a
we're
surprise.
all gonna get that rematch that everybody.
Have you guys seen our NFL standings? They're about exactly the same as this. Pretty much even.
What can you say? Like, we're tied at the hip, I guess. So, okay, let's get to the final. Who wins the championship of college football this season? I'll kick it off with Joe M.
Man, what a matchup, I'll tell you. What a matchup. I'm drooling as we speak. Man, that's going to be a great matchup. I'm going to say Georgia Bulldogs.
What?
Oh,
Georgia
okay.
Bulldogs,
Georgia?
man. Hey,
They
Georgia. Anyway,
they avenged their loss.
Atlanta.
Okay.
the Atlanta Braves, man, they did it. They won the World Series. I don't know. Falcons ain't going to win the Super Bowl. Maybe the Georgia Bulldogs can follow the trend of the Atlanta Braves and get one because they're like lovable losers in a way. They seem to always come up short. Like we mentioned earlier, they're always coming up short to Alabama. I feel like this is the year they finally get over that hump. I got Georgia. So my man, Pastor Troy, is going to be happy.
There it is.
Shout out, Pastor Troy.
Okay. Joe B, what's your pick?
I hope you're right, Joanne, but I can't pick against Nick Saban, so I'm gonna go Alabama. I think everyone wrote them off after they lost at A&M to Texas A&M, but like they've been on a roll. I know they barely beat Auburn, but they found a way. But they're from the table. Bryce Young, baller, I think he had 46 total touchdowns this season. Obviously won the Heisman. I just think they're on a roll right now, and I think again I think they're just pissed. They're playing pissed because everyone's like, "Oh, you're done. Yeah, dynasty's over." So, and that with Nick Saban, I can't pick against that.
I remember anybody saying the dynasty was over.
Not quite that, but people were writing them off when they lost to A&M. Everyone was kind of doubting them.
Okay.
Saban was pissed in his pressers. Like, he's always pissed.
When is Saban not pissed? Okay.
They could win. They could be 59 zip, and he'll not complain, but he'll still point out some flaws. So he's always like that in general because that's what makes him great, in my opinion. Even though I don't like him.
Yeah.
No, we can have a whole other discussion too about. I heard some things about who's like the best coach, like between him or Belichick. I know it's different sports. I've heard that discussion. I would say Saban, but a whole different discussion, maybe a different pod. Stay tuned for that, possibly. Mm-hmm. But yeah, long story short, Bama.
That one interview you had with the silent reporter, he's like, "Quit asking me. I'm not gonna answer it."
Quit asking.
Yeah. Okay. So my pick is Alabama as well. Georgia, like I said, I feel like this is inevitably what they do. I'm like Joe M. You got to show it to me. I don't think they're going to show it to me this year. Maybe one day they'll show it to me. But as of now, I think this is the ceiling for them. And yeah, Alabama is motivated. And yeah, they have Nick Saban, and obviously he's the greatest coach in the history of college football. And that's more evident by the way he game planned for Georgia in their last game. They looked very infantile and just completely disheveled. And that's a testament to his coaching. So Georgia will have time to adjust. I'm not sure Kirby Smart is the tactician that can really make those adjustments. And yeah, I believe Alabama is going to take it again. So there you go. We got me and Joe B for Bama. We got Joe M for Georgia. We'll see how it goes.
Don't get it twisted. I'll be rooting for Georgia hard if that ends up being the matchup. But yeah.
Yeah. I'm not rooting for Bama, but I do think they'll win. Yeah.
Right. So. I know you're not either.
I'm actually surprised one of you two didn't pick Michigan. I thought one of us was going to pick Michigan.
Telling you, entering today, I thought Michigan. But then the more I looked into like Michigan, I think just relies so much on the run game. Their running backs are incredible. They're really good. But Georgia is that's what they do. Right. So I'm just like, and also they're trying to get the bad taste out of their mouth from Alabama. They're looking at first time they're coming off a loss, so they're really like motivated. So that's why I picked Georgia in the end. I think it's gonna be a very close and very good game. But that's last second I switched to Georgia for that one.
Yeah, it's Big Ten football, so you're going out on a limb. No offense to Michigan, like pretty much Ohio State has ran that conference. So this is a good year for Michigan as a bounce back. But yeah, sure. I don't think this is a year for them. But they turned it around though, so good for Coach Harbaugh. But all right,
being there.
Mm-hmm. No, it definitely is a step in the right direction. And beating Ohio State, that's their seat. That was their championship anyway. that was their
yeah.
They could hold that over their Ohio State's heads for a year now.
And the good thing with that, if you think about it, like that was their championship, but then they still showed up and decimated Iowa.
Yep.
So like that could be a good sign going into this game.
Elite Iowa.
Overrated Iowa.
Said that. Yeah. Okay.
Elite Iowa crowned by Joe B.
I mean,
back in week 7 or whatever.
Yeah, because they were undefeated. Yeah, I don't know what
they were number 2, right? At one point.
Yeah, they were number 2.
I think wasn't I just trying to soften the blow because they destroyed Maryland?
I think Maryland doesn't need any help. Like we're bad on our own.
Like I feel bad because you love Maryland, and like I think Iowa killed them, and I'm just like, oh, you know what? They're an elite team, and you still lambasted me for
exactly. That's what I did.
Coach Loxley, Joe M needs you guys to turn it around.
Next time I'll just say Maryland's trash, and then we'll move on.
Tallulah, man.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot he was there.
He's in the running for Polynesian Player of the Year. That makes you feel better.
There's like 6 Polynesian players in college football, so congrats.
That's I had no idea that was a thing.
It was. I did a story for Saturday Tradition on it.
That's pretty damn cool. That's actually pretty cool. Like I had no idea that was a thing.
Yeah, it is.
It's good stuff.
Maybe Tua will show up to the ceremony.
What do you mean?
There might be a game that day.
Yeah, that's true.
Actually, I think it's around. I think it's the end of December. So yeah,
he might be on the road though.
Yeah, but okay, guys, good stuff. We'll see how that goes. Yeah. We'll see if Joe M is right or if me and Joe B will be right. Either way, it's going to be interesting, and we're definitely looking forward to it. So thank you guys again. Thank you for your continued support. We appreciate all of the love you guys show us. And until next time, this is Beyond the Game with Ro and the Joe Bros.
Peace out, y'all. Enjoy the game.
A-Town.
Follow on Instagram and Twitter at __ Beyond the Game, and subscribe on YouTube at Beyond the Game with Ro and the Joe Bros.